Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Call today, don't delay. Operators are standing by to answer your questions about how to get your medical marijuana card, where to find medicine now, where to find a grower, how to get growing for myself, best methods on medicating. All this and more can be yours if you call today. Remember, operators are standing by. 503-588-6444. To answer your questions or to give comment, curse, or kudo concerning medical cannabis.
How you doing, Perry? You know, there's a lot of questions out there today because the people are believing that for so long they had...
Excuse me,
Oh.
do you have a call?
Caller, how are you? Go ahead.
I'm doing good. I was just wondering about, the dispensary bill's been signed and stuff, but there's a bunch of places open before that. And I was wondering, is there going to be some sort of sticker or plaque on the wall or official seal that says, they're a state-approved dispensary, or how is that going to work?
Well, that's a good idea. They haven't discussed that part yet, but I imagine that something like that will be the end result of folks being certified and passing inspection and everything else. So, yeah.
Forrester.
All right, well,
okay,
thanks, guys.
Okay, well, stay tuned to mercycenters.org, and we went to a meeting today that was talking about the rules and stuff, and we can certainly let folks know more before it actually goes in place in March 2014.
All right. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, well, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Those are some more of the things I'm sure that will come up at those meetings that will be coming up here soon, huh?
Yeah, and as the rules are promulgated and folks are finding out more about the requirements, we expect some ancillary businesses to be able to take advantage of it. There's going to be security required, and so security systems with cameras and being able to track it, also being able to lock stuff up, safes is going to be a little bit of a business surge there. Some real estate, some insurance, going to be some attorneys employed also, I'm sure. But mostly will be these facilities are able to help out the cannabis community.
That's a good thing.
Well, yeah, and that one of the things that was going on at this meeting we attended today was education of the commission that's going to be in charge of this, about what to expect, what are the circumstances the folks are going and looking for medicine for. A couple of scenarios that seemed to be foreign to them was that somebody's just got with the program and they're, like a cancer patient, or, they need some medicine now. So it's going to be, 2 to 3 months or more before the crop's going to come in. So this patient needs to get some medicine now. Also, there's situations where the crop fails or is stolen, or even they're part of one of these cooperatives that gets raided, and boom, your garden's gone, and you need to get some, go to a source for medicine. These are all valid situations where someone could need to utilize this dispensary type situation that the state's attempting to set up with House Bill 3460. There's also, though, the purpose of sharing the excess medicine, and in the process sharing different strains amongst the folks, and so we get to a better feel, a bit more knowledge about what strain works best for what,
Well, and a lot of these things that were going on are good for all of us as patients, and the thing that is very important is that we have a lot of good things happening, and patients that are struggling should look forward to some changes happening. And the good thing is, patients that were worried and had concerns, these concerns and worries should be, unfounded now. Well, because if all the other states and the other laws change and we've heard so much about the dispensaries, you know.
Well, there's a lot of folks that aren't networking at all. Cardholders are allowed to give each other medicine or plants as long as no funding exchange for consideration. But even that much activity, folks are afraid to do that, and this is going to enable a lot more of that. It's not so much that folks are going to be making money so much as folks are going to be reimbursed and enabled to take their excess to places, make sure it gets networked to folks, the funding gets networked back, more medicine is raised, and finds its way back into the medical cannabis community. So yeah, that sounds like a good deal for everybody, really.
Well, and the patients out there are struggling to get medicine. Growers that are struggling are looking for patients. It's a matter of you guys being able to get together. The Wednesday night meetings is a good chance to come down and get together and have a chance to talk about the strains you have, talk about the strains that you need, because a lot of these things are what is nice to have a chance to sit down and talk with somebody that is actually already growing, already has strains that are already proven. And these are the things that patients out there that are looking to get into this have no idea of people who to talk to. And it's such a struggle out there if you don't know anybody. And the hope is if you need to, come by the office Monday through Friday, 12 to 6, or on Wednesday nights at the 7 o'clock meeting. Or they can get a hold of us on the website at
www.mercycenters.org. You told them about Monday through Friday, noon to 6.
And if they wanted to watch the show that Perry was just telling you about, the meeting today, very important. There's a lot of stuff in there. They can go and watch that. How can they watch that?
Well, go to mercycenters.org, then click on the Mercy-TV tab, and there you'll see the latest shows that we've got, as well as indexes to all our libraries. We have sections set up for the OMMP meetings. We've got a list of stuff on our live stream account. We also have a bunch of stuff loaded up to YouTube. All this stuff is accessible through our website at mercycenters.org/TV. Also, there's the schedule of when shows are happening, because you can catch us here on Channel 23 throughout the week there. Not just our Mercy live show, but a weekly show, monthly, and of course PK's My Garden also happening there during the month.
Well, and a lot of people might be sitting in the hospital and not really understanding what we're talking about. We're talking about medical cannabis as a treatment for your pain, for your nausea, for a lot of things that aren't even considered legal today, but in the future probably will, and it won't make a difference because it'll be legal. But there's a lot of people out there that are getting such good benefits, like from PTSD.
And we need to educate folks on the conditions and how cannabis applies to them, because it's not all the conditions as they are qualifying. PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, was just added. It goes into effect January 1st, 2014. Until then, the folks with PTSD who needing to get their card now are going to have to rely on affirmative defenses or get their card for something else like pain that they also suffer through. A lot of folks are doing that. Some folks have fibromyalgia, but that in itself isn't good enough. You have to have pain, get that pain documented to be able to get your card through the specialist if your regular care provider won't sign for you. And the list goes on. There's a number of conditions that you have to wait until the symptoms are bad enough to qualify before you can get to it, and that's not the way it should be.
Well, and if you're in the hospital tonight and you're watching the show, I'm sorry, but at least you're getting a chance to watch the show. Look into it. Talk to your doctors. Very important. Give them opportunity to see what they know. If they haven't talked to you, give them that opportunity to tell you what they do know. Maybe you can tell them that you've already tried it, that it's already worked. Maybe you haven't used it. Maybe you just want to try to stop the nausea so you can eat, so you can get some sleep, so you can finally get back on a good cycle, because everybody that's sick knows what I just said is no joke. We just want to sleep. We just want to be able to eat. We just want to be able to not get sick, want to be able to take the pills that we're supposed to take and not get sick and have to retake the pills again for the second or third time. I know all of that, and everybody that's in the hospital that deals with those things really goes, well, nobody ever talked to me about cannabis for nausea. It's not one of the first things that they're going to talk to you about, but if you bring up that conversation, maybe you can get it started. Maybe you will have the opportunity that your doctor will work with you. Maybe he'll give you some, the main thing is getting your medical records showing how long you've had nausea, and that would qualify you. If you need to come by, bring your records by the office. Everybody there is a patient. They're all volunteers, and they know what the records, what they say. We only need some little bit of that this qualifying condition has existed for a while. You've seen the doctor, and that's what qualifies you for the card.
Right. So if you have pain, nausea, seizures, spasticity, glaucoma, AIDS, HIV, multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
But then again, that talks to the spasticity, really. So any of those things, no matter what's causing them, contact us to find out more about how to get your card. You're watching a loved one suffer through this. Same thing there. And get to the truth of it.
A lot of those people, bro, have suffered so long, nobody's told them about this, and they think, well, those guys must not know what they're talking about. There is so much good information. There is so many good things happening, and the reason why is because cannabis is good medicine, and people need to share this information, and that's why we do the show. There's people out there that are just wishing somebody would tell them about any kind of information about anything that would make them feel better. And you know what? Cannabis does just that, because once you can eat and you can sleep and you can go through some good cycles, you kind of get some quality of life back, where before these people that I'm referring to don't have a quality of life because they can't eat and there is no sleep and everything is terrible because these pills and all the different parts of the condition are always looming, and nobody gets a chance to say, hey, if I tried to eat a cookie, or if maybe I rubbed oil on my legs because my knees hurt so bad and I can't walk, these are the things, these arthritises. Everybody says they got arthritis so bad they can't do a lot of things because they're crippled from it. This is true. I understand arthritis and crippling, but once you start using some oil, you'll understand you'll get a lot more relief, a lot more mobility, and what is that worth? It's priceless. You don't have to smoke no cannabis. Nobody said that, oh, the only way you're going to get relief is by smoking it. You can rub it on, you can put it directly to the points of wherever that arthritis is and watch the relief you'll have for hours. And that is priceless. There's no side effects. You're not going to get high. You're not going to get a buzz. You're not going to any of that, because all you're going to get is some relief in the joints where you're rubbing it on. And those are the things that a lot of patients that we're talking to tonight are looking for. They're just looking for some kind of relief, and this ain't no joke. And a lot of people have made cannabis a joke for so long because they thought it was funny. Well, it's funny, but it's not funny, ha-ha. It's just funny. And it's funny that all these people don't get the opportunity to be able to use some medicine that will work for them and actually let them have a life. Because once you lose all of these parts of your body from not being able to, all the arthritises and all the things that happen, once you lose that, you go, wow, if I could just do a little bit.
Right. They say that's funny, but a lot of folks that find out the joke's on them, that cannabis is not only effective medicine, but it's safe. They're not so happy about it then, I tell you. Finding out that no one has ever died from cannabis, that it's, it's benign, safe, and effective. So that they didn't have this worry, really, So You're in talking with your doctor, trying to get him to sign if he's onto this. I don't prescribe smoke medicine. Educate him that you're not prescribing in the Oregon system. They're signing a form that says you have one of these qualifying conditions. If you have any questions on those conditions, whether or not your particular one fits, contact us at the Mercy Center here. But also that you don't have to smoke this medicine. There's other ways of consuming it, and in particular, the ones that Sonny was talking about, where you're using an oil-based cannabis medicine to apply it topically. I mean, you're not even getting any toxicity. You're not going to get high, cop a buzz, or any of those things. So, educate your doctor that there are concerns about you becoming addicted or any other dangerous or fatal results from consuming cannabis are unfounded. That's reefer madness, and can't hurt. To try to educate your doc and get them to see the cannabis as medicine. Failing that, then you're going to want to get copies of your chart notes. So you want to make sure that you document their condition, the pain or the nausea, whatever it is that's using your cannabis for, and then get it to the center or one of these specialists, one of the clinics, and get into that process of getting your card there. Again, whether for yourself or for someone you care about, you're watching them go through this. That's often a lot tougher on folks than suffering through it themselves.
Well, we have seen a lot of that lately, where either the husband or the wife was taking care of the other, and it's such a traumatic thing to go through because of the condition, and now you can finally get some relief with some cannabis for whatever you're using it for, and it's amazing. And what it is please tell somebody about it.
Right.
Well, because we have so many things at our fingertips, we're not sharing it, and people need to share it. And the main thing is that everybody knows somebody that is sick in some way or another, and if you do not, ask somebody if they know somebody and tell, because everybody does. And if they didn't know about cannabis and they find out they can eat some little cookies or eat some little pancakes or rub some little oil on, how beautiful. Watch people that couldn't walk will start walking, because their arthritises and stuff are so bad that once they start using these oils and eating some of this food, they can walk, and they call it a miracle. And it's really not a miracle, but it is. It's just that nobody told them about it. And like the people in the hospital tonight, everybody says, oh man, I don't got nothing. I've done all the drugs. I've had all the side effects. I've got all the drugs for the side effects. Wait till you try some cannabis and you go, wow, it is a miracle. It is a miracle, because so many people have came down and talked to us about this. It is worth repeating. If you have not tried it, please try it. Please get your doctors to go with it, and you have to talk to them and tell them how important it is, because a lot of people go, well, I don't have no hope. I've done everything. I've done all the drugs.
Yep.
You know what? Believe me, if you haven't tried cannabis,
Oh, do we have a
we
call?
have a call?
Yes.
Go ahead, caller.
How are you?
Caller, go ahead.
Good evening. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. I was wondering if you could tell me a little more about the edible type of cannabis that I could use, because I have emphysema and I really shouldn't be smoking. And so I was wondering if you could tell me a little more about it.
Well, the simplest form would be to make tea out of it. Just dip it in the hot water like you would regular tea. You can add some regular tea with it to add flavor to it. That's a quick and easy way. There's the old standard way of baking it, where you just grind it up, mix it in with your brownies. That's another one too, simple. But the best way is to make butter and then use that butter in your cooking processes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'll look on your website and see if I see any recipes or any information there about it.
Okay, also you can stop by the center and pick up an Oregon Cannabis Connection. We've got recipes in every edition there.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, well, thanks for calling.
Yeah, love your show.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Spread the word. Well, there was another satisfied customer heard from, or
Well, it's because
Good.
a lot of people do not realize the benefit they can get out of the cannabis from eating it. It's not just smoking it, you guys. There's so many myths about cannabis that have went on for so many years, and all of us have heard it. Now we're having to relearn the truth. And relearning the truth is going to take some time, and we're going to have to go through some things, I'm sure. What we know today is not necessarily what we're going to know tomorrow. We'll just know more. And today we know that you can rub it, you can smoke it, you can vaporize it, and you can eat it. You can make all kinds of oils to rub on, you can make all kinds of foods to eat. And you know, whatever your particular condition is, and that will allow you to eat it, smoke it, rub it on, whatever you got to do, I would say please give it an opportunity, and just don't use it one time and say that's it, because everybody says, well, I tried it once back in whenever. Well, that's only one time. These people, the doctors put you on pills for 10 days to 14 days to see if they work. That's because it takes 10 to 14 days to get you a blood level of this particular medicine. And a lot of people need some time to build up a blood level. And if you can get your doctor to work with you on the cannabis, wow, because you would be able to show them that, yes, the cannabis is actually working. That's what a lot of people have not taken the time to do, is say, Doc, I really would like to give it a chance to work. You know, these are the things, the conversations, when you have those with your doctor's going to be more willing to go, all right, let's look into this.
yeah, you know, especially as we said before, with these topical applications that are, you know, minimize the toxicity. You know, it's not going to get into the bloodstream. It's just going to directly affect it. And in those cases, we've had some folks that have had immediate responses. We've had folks with spasticity, in addition to other things that where that topical, getting that cannabis applied there. But one thing I can also tell you, reference to Sonny's, you know, what's the future going to bring? We can predict, I think with accuracy, that we're going to see more information and progress concerning the cannabinoids and cannabinoids. We've been finding out, although I shouldn't say we, mostly people outside the U.S., where such studies are allowed and they don't destroy the results when they don't like what it says. They're finding out that it's not the THC that does the best work, but these cannabinoids, cannabinoids, also commonly referred to as CBDs, CBNs, CBCs, and we're also coming up with more of these types every day. The things about these CBDs, CBNs is they don't get you high. So in addition to these topical applications, we're isolating these components that are proving to be very effective for particular conditions, and you know, we'll soon progress out of this reefer madness era where, you know, this you know, marijuana gets you high and that's an evil thing, you know, a bad thing, and you know, that's not true. But at the same time, we're going to eliminate the THC from it. And hopefully that will happen here in Oregon. You know, Oregon can take the lead on that, because we've got a lot of folks already here in the state working with various strains and how they affect people per condition. Also, these applications, the lady called about, you know, medibles, and we talked earlier about these oils that are applied topically. And when combined with the knowledge of CBDs and CBNs, you know, gosh, the sky's the limit.
Well, and that's what people are saying. Well, I tried some stuff too that didn't work. It was maybe the wrong strain. There's so many things. This is the deal. If the medicine doesn't work, try it. Try something else. Try and talk to some people that can maybe give you some information about where it was grown, how it was grown, what strain it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
These are all very important factors, because if you're the one that's sick and you find this particular strain of blueberry grown in dirt is the exact kind, or if it's blueberry and it's grown in hydro, and it's blueberry and it's grown in aeroponics, it does not matter. All these things are important to the person, and if that's what it takes to make this person particular, the part of their condition go away and make it be, instead of suffering, it relieves that suffering. How beautiful. And these are the things that we are finding out today as patients. You know, we're not even scientists, you guys. We're patients. We're patients who have literally experimented on ourselves, I guess, with all the different strains of medicines. And now, with all these different legalization bills coming and all these different things happening and all these different conditions going to be legal for patients to use medicine, that is what is exciting for all of us. And it's your friends and your family and your mom and your dad and your brother and your sister, all of them. You guys, somebody needs some help with cannabis. And if you want to sit there and say, well, I don't need to use it because of all the things you've heard all your life, that's fine. But somebody else is suffering, and maybe they do need to hear it. Maybe you should tell them you heard about all these different, I mean, the conditions go on, and they're finding more every day. And like the lady that called from out of state today, they're recognizing their, what was it, the different psychological conditions that cannabis does help. And all of that is not being recognized today in Oregon,
Right.
but at some time I'm sure it will be.
Well, hopefully it won't be the same fight as it was to get post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, added to the program. By the way, that condition, the official adding of that goes into effect January 1st, 2014. So please start now to get your doctor's notes together on that. If your doctor won't sign, it's the same thing. We'll still need to get them to the specialist there, and we'll need the chart notes where they're documenting that condition that you're wanting to qualify for. But educate your doc, educate your doc, educate your doc. We have a pamphlet, a nice bit of information to give to the docs on all the things we've talked about here. Visit our website or come to us and we'll get it printed off and hand it out to you. Also, our collection of Oregon Cannabis Connections with their list of recipes and stuff like that. Also, all the resources, not just here in Salem, not just the clinics or the clubs and co-ops, but all the resources throughout the state. So tune in there. Also coming up with the things that are going to happen or be needed for the medical marijuana facilities that's coming up. So attorneys, real estate, insurance. And let us not forget to mention our sponsor, Graber Insurance, for home, auto, life, business.
All
like
your
ours.
insurance needs.
So check them out at graberinsures.com. That's GRABER insurers.com. Thanks for our crew for helping out with MTV tonight. Thanks, Sonny, for helping me out here.
Thank you, Perry. And you know, patience, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of unknowns. Please, don't have the fear. The things that are coming out in the open, everybody should feel good about feeling better.
Absolutely. So talk to your doc. Talk to us, talk to your friends and families, talk to your enemies. What do you got to lose here?
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys next time on Mercy TV.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.